All right, so I'm here today with Mr. Alvin Harris. Mr. Alvin Harris, you reached out to me about 2 weeks ago or so, and you said your son resides in the U.S.?
Exactly, North Dakota, Fort Fargo.
Okay, and he reached out and said his son had heard about Xity and was interested in building his dream home in Xity, and that he wanted you to go to Xity and verify whether this is a place that is like up to his expectations, right? And also to just do some background check since in fact you are on the ground.
Yeah.
And we took you to Xity. I wasn't even on that trip.
Yeah.
You and Mr. Clinton went to Xity. So Mr. Clinton gave you a tour. And you told me, you called me and said you were impressed, but you had additional questions to ask me, and this is why you are here this morning.
Yes.
Great. So let's start from your impression of what Xity is like, and then talk to us about the questions that you have.
Yeah, I went Xity and I was very much impressed.
Great.
The initial stage, you had a machine working. He carried me at all the corners of Xity. It's a very large place, and I saw where you were preparing for the worker dwelling place. I saw some equipment all there, so I was very much impressed. I even told my son about it.
Great.
I told him to ask you a few questions.
Great.
Are you concerned about?
You want to look in the camera?
Yeah. And this is one of the questions. He want to buy, he interested, he want to build a dream house on that end.
Great.
And he doesn't want to live in the state all the days of his life. He's concerned about being home, he and his family. And he told me to pose this question to you. If he is getting about an acre plus, can there be reduction in the price?
That's a great question. So right now, just the price of regular land in that vicinity that is not coming with this well-organized environment that Xity provides and all of the other amenities that Xity promises in the future is right about the same price that we are selling the land. So to be honest, when you consider everything that Xity has to offer and the peace of mind and the safety, our land is currently being sold at a discount price. And so we are not considering giving people a discount up to the 2 acres maximum that people are buying. So unfortunately, we don't offer discount on the price of land at the current price that we are selling for.
Okay, another question. If in case you move in and you build whatsoever you want to establish, is there some amenity they will be entitled to in that city?
Give me an example of the amenities.
Like you have garbage, you will be able to you will be responsible for garbage. And some other, attachment.
Great. So here is how we are organizing Xity, and it's important for people to understand this. So, and your son will be very familiar with this.
Another thing, and the current too. Electricity, and what have you.
So all of the basic utilities, you are asking, are these basic utilities going to be available?
Absolutely.
Perfect question. So here is what we have planned for Xity. So we are now sitting in this garage that is newly painted, right? So this is work going on. We are at the XHQ building, and in this compound, we are starting an experiment of building a modern commercial grade solar power system. And we are experimenting it here at the XHQ building. That is what we are going to build in Xity, so that all of the homes will have 24/7 electricity sourced from renewable energy, mainly solar power.
Okay.
So that is the first thing. So by the time the homes are getting completed, we want to ensure that we have a solar power system that basically scales over time. As the number of residents increase, we increase our capacity to serve all residents. So there will not be, from the very day one of turning the key of the first residential home, there will be solar power available for that home. And then when it comes to garbage collection, we will actually either form our own internal garbage collection business, and this is open for Xity residents and future enthusiasts of Xity to start thinking about. We want a standard garbage collection theme that is going to be handed that contract to do it. If nobody else wants to do it, of course, we will do it ourselves. But this is what is going to be done. And then for the water, we just completed the borehole digging for the first borehole well.
When Clinton and I went there, I think that one of the main reasons why he went
right.
for the borehole.
For the borehole. So that process was just starting when you visited, right?
Unfortunately, they didn't arrive
at the
until
time.
I left.
Exactly. So the contractors didn't get there until you left, but that was one of the main things he went there for. Great. So that work is completed yesterday. The video will soon be coming out. Yesterday I was there to inspect the work, and I was there until we got water. There was a huge gush of water coming from the well. So when I was leaving, they had started putting in the pipes that's supposed to hold dirt from falling into the well. So that is what was being done. But anyway, back to this conversation. So all of these basic utilities, water, electricity, garbage collection, security, right? So we'll have both electronic and manned security system that will provide the sense of safety for people and actual safety for people. Now, all of these are utilities that will be paid for by residents, right? Okay. Just like in the United States, which again your son will be very familiar with, right? You pay your electric bill, you pay your water bill, you pay for security, you pay for garbage collection.
Is that going to be very moderate?
No, very affordable. This is, yes, we will source all of the solutions at competitive prices. For example, since we are providing the solar electricity, we promise that our electricity cost will be lower than the national grid cost, even though the national grid is unreliable, right? Right? It comes and goes anytime it wants. But the cost, the national cost of electricity sold by the national grid will always be higher than what we offer our residents. That's just a typical example. So we will ensure that all of those utilities are available in Xity.
Well understood. Another one is that if he is purchasing the land and not in a position, but he able not to move in right away to develop.
Got it.
Because he had a time frame. Will he be able to maintain that until his time to move into develop the area?
That's a great question. And we've thought about some of these things because we understand like Liberians living in the diaspora or even Liberians living here locally may sometimes need some time to plan their finances to begin construction of their homes. So what we've decided to do with Xity is that when you purchase your land, we give you up to 3 years before you can start building your home. And then, once you commence the building of the home, we give you another 3 years for you to complete the building of the homes. So technically, if you look at it, there's a total of 6 years from the time you purchase your land to the time your home should be ready.
Okay, also just in case you're unable to finish the land, the time frame that has been mentioned. What next?
Yeah, so there's an issue there with, so this is where it gets a little bit tricky, and we communicate to all of our clients like openly and clearly, and we sign these documents, right? So if you were to purchase your land, the 3 years elapses, and you haven't started building your home, right? We come to you. Potentially, we may give you a small margin of time for you to be able to commence the building of your home. Because we know you may plan something, there is a little glitch and things like that. But we should see signs that you are ready to commence, but there were genuine and valid reasons, right? For instance, maybe some contingencies that nobody planned for, right? Interrupted that plan, right? We should be convinced that that is the case. We could potentially give you some time to commence. In that case, you have additional time to start. If you do not commence the building of your home with all of those additional time added to the 3 years.
Yeah.
Let me just be clear. We are going to be strict because this thing affects other people in the surrounding.
Yeah.
So if you do not commence the building of your homes, what we will do potentially, you will forfeit about 75% of your deposit on your land. And we will give that land to someone else who's willing to begin building of their homes. So you will forfeit some of your money that you deposited for that land. So that is the thing. Then the other thing again is, even if you start construction of the building and it's going over 3 years, 4 years, you're already in that grace period and you still cannot complete it, again, you will forfeit some of the money you paid for that property. Some will be refunded, and then that property, we will have to now think about it. Now, the problem here is that, especially when it comes to where you have built something partially, it becomes difficult for even us to turn that into something better. Because, say, for example, my taste in home style is different from your taste in home style. If I started to build a home in Xity and didn't finish it, if the management of Xity took that home from me, gave me a refund of some amount of my money, that home, that unfinished home, if we want to give that to you, right, you may have problem with the building that is already there. We may have to break things down and rebuild, and rebuild. By the way, breaking things down is costly. Ask anyone in real estate construction, right? So those are some of the challenges we face. So to be on the safe side, we've given people a sufficient amount of time, but we also understand, right, that there can be contingencies arising, but we don't want people to rely on that, right? That's where the lapses start, and then you see a lot of buildings growing mold on them, and they are around for years. So we want to prevent those instances. So we are a business that understand the context of being a Liberian living at home or abroad, but we are also aware that we are embarking on something that is going to be big, and we don't want these little requests and excuses to pull that process down.
Okay, so far the better. And I understand exactly what your intentions are.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah. So thanks a lot.
Thank you, Mr. Harris. It was a pleasure speaking with you.
I appreciate it. Sorry for waking you up so early.
No, you didn't wake me up. I was up. I wake up at 5 a.m. So if I'm not out here doing work in the yard, I'm actually doing something on the computer, because this thing requires like a lot of social media engagement or some other like paperwork that I have to do behind the scenes, like generating permits and things like that, communicating with partners, stakeholders. There's a lot of things both outside and behind the scenes that happen. So I'm always involved in that process. I'm up ready. I took shower, everything. I was just up there doing the work.
When I got up, I was thinking, I see, I know he's sleeping.
No, I wasn't.
Most of the time, those from that side, when they come here, they want to rest up to 10, 11.
I don't get rest, man. When I'm here, like I work. In fact, all of my family, they complain exactly about that and say, "Why aren't you resting? You are on vacation. You're supposed to be resting." But no, I work even harder.
If you want things done, you put more time.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. So
okay, thanks again.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Mr. Harris. It was a pleasure speaking with you. Take care.
Okay.